What up? What up? It's your boy Tone 202. Let me start some music here. All right, listen. This goes out to my Game of Thrones people. And I'm just going to give my 2 cents on what I think is going to happen. And yeah, turn this down a little bit more. All right, for one, to all you nerds out there. All right, so who's going to live and who's going to die? You know, this is season 3's trailer. And we're trying to figure out who's going to win. Well, we know who's going to win. But who's going to lose? Who's going to lose their life? I'm just go out and just name some people who I think just ain't going to make it. You know what I'm saying? I think Lady Brienne is going to make it. Because I think her and Torment, they might go ahead and make a giant, which would be cool. But I don't think Grey Worm is going to make it. 1, he's black. 2, he's black. And 3, he's black. So yeah, he's not going to make it. He's not going to see the island of North. Him or his people. And the thing about Totoko Noodle is the Unsullied, they're in the vanguard. So they're right up front. And they look dope. But they're right up front in the vanguard. And I just don't think that the majority of them are going to make it. How many is left? Maybe 8,000, maybe a little less than 8,000. You got to understand, whenever they fight, they don't renew their ranks. So it's not like there's more people signing up to lose their penis and then become unsullied. You know, they are the reminiscence of old geese. You know what I'm saying? And the Cyanori, which were the tall men. So, you know, their discipline is like no other. They are bred to do nothing but fight. And this is why they don't have generals. Nonetheless, it would be so nice to see him and Missandei actually go to the Island of North, because the people in the Island of North, like she said, they can't defend themselves. They do have fighters. Let's be clear. The Island of North are peaceful people. They're black. But the thing is, they do have fighters, because the guy who took over, remember the big guy who betrayed Dany and he wanted to marry her and give her all these ships? He was a black guy. He was from North, and they called him a savage. So he was from North, and he was a fighter. So yeah, they do have people that fight there. It's just the majority of them don't. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. But I don't think Grey Worm is going to make it, even though I'd love to see him make it. It would have been nice if he would have slapped Jaime Lannister real quick for me. But now, okay, yeah, he puts on a helmet. It's just ridiculous. Okay, so here's Daenerys. You can barely see it. It's very dark. Here's Daenerys and Jon. We know that these two are going to survive the fight, but I don't think Daenerys is going to survive the whole ordeal. You know, she's supposed to be he's supposed to be Azor Ahai. Azor Ahai beats the Night King by sticking his sword into his wife's chest, and it becomes a flaming sword, kind of like, you know, who's the guy with the flaming sword? But it becomes some magical flaming sword, and yeah, all that. So I don't think she's gonna survive to be queen. Plus, now she knows that Jon is the true king and the true heir, even though Jon has been named king and doesn't care about being king. This is why he gave it away. He's like, I don't really care about being king. I care about survival. But I think Jon's going to survive, but she's going to survive the fight. But when it's all over, And the thing is, she might not even survive the fight. I'm gonna tell you why. Because her dragon, Drogo or whatever his name is, her dragon is King Dragon, right? Even before Viserys or whatever his name, the other dragon is, the Ice Dragon now, he was, the leader of all three of them. He's going to go after that dragon. He's going to try to take him down. And you got to understand, they're fighting in the cover, they're fighting at night, and they're fighting in the cold, and they're going to be blinded. We don't see very well at night. It's just not going to bode well for Dany, because Dany is the one who's guiding the dragon to go wherever. Just like Jon illustrated when he jumped on the back of Viserys or whatever, I don't know, whatever the hell the dragon's name is, and he kind of guided the dragon, and the dragon landed, and then Dany was impressed by that. She's leading the dragon. She can't see. They're not going to be able to see. And the Night King, who probably won't even be there, is just going to have an upper advantage. But if the Night King is there, the Night King is going to go after the number one threat in the field, and that's going to be her. It's going to be her dragon. And then he's going to go and, try to get the Brandon. Do I think this man's going to survive? This is Samwell Tarly. Yes, absolutely. I think before it's all over, Samwell is not going to go back to the Citadel because he hates the Citadel rules. What I think Samwell is going to do is, Samwell is now the head of his household. So him and Little Sam and Gilly, I think they're going to head back to their castle, and that's all of his land. So, you got to understand, Samwell's army is not slaughtered. As a matter of fact, Samwell's army isn't even there. I don't even think they're there. She made them bend the knee, right? But it didn't show that she made them join her army. So I don't even know if their army is there. We know the Lannisters' army isn't there. And we know when she killed Samwell's father and her brother, they're not so eager to follow her because she's just like her dad, the Mad King. So, except she has dragons. Imagine if the Mad King had dragons. Oh my goodness. But I think Samwell is going to go back home. Not to Highgarden. That castle's empty. And everybody from Highgarden's dead. That whole army has been slaughtered by Samwell's army and the Lannisters' army. So Randall Tully took his army and went to Highgarden and just wrecked everything. Him and Jaime Lannister. So there's nobody at Highgarden. But Samwell's family is at his castle. So he can go back there and be Lord of the House. So I think Sam's going to live, which will be dope. I think Sansa's going to live. I think Sansa's definitely going to live. Do I want her to live? Yeah, I want Sansa to live. Do I want her little sister to live? Well, if her little sister lives, right now, everybody's thinking she probably just got knocked up in the last episode. So if she lives, she could have it will be a Stark and Baratheon, mashup. So it would be cool to have the King's blood. The King's blood is already running in both of their families. So it would be cool if she would go back and go back to the Stormlands with, her. Everybody knew it was going to happen, but it will be her husband, the guy who's forging all the dragon glass, Gendry. So it would be hurtful to see Gendry die, but it's highly possible that one of the two are not going to survive, and then she might have Gendry's baby. But we know she catches a beat down and she's running, so she loses her special weapon and everything. There's just so many of them. There's just so many. Do I think Sansa's gonna survive? Why is Sansa even out there? She's not a fighter. Sansa has gotten where she's gotten because of her brains and because of her looks. Sansa has not thrown one punch. She doesn't carry a weapon. She's gonna be a liability more than anything. So why she's out in the open and not, down in the crypt with everybody else, I don't know. And another thing is, the crypt is not a safe place to be. It's not. I'm going to go through that video later. But the crypt is the wrong place to be. This is not when you want to be in the crypt. Anywhoozle, let's move on. Sir Davos dies. That's it. Sir Davos, I love you. He's the only knight who's the Onion Knight. But is he going to die? This guy, Tyrion, lives. It just would be wrong on all levels for Tyrion to die. But we know where he's going to be. He's going to be down in the crypt. And I keep telling you, the crypt is not the safe place to be. I think that my boy Ian, which is his real name, is going to, I think he's going to die. And I think Samwell's going to get his sword back. Forgot what his sword's name is, but Samwell can't hold it. But yeah, I think Mr. Friendzone right here, I think he's going to definitely die. And you can tell he really loves Queen Daenerys. He loves her with all his heart. But I think Daenerys is going to watch him die. And because there's really no place for him. She has a hand already. He is the best warrior beside her, because Varys isn't going to kill anyone. You know what I'm saying? So Ian is like her Kingsguard. He's first in command, and the Kingsguard is really what he is. He's the Kingsguard. But I just can't see it. I think Ian is he's gonna pass away. Ian is his real name. His name in the stories, I forgot. Sorry, you guys, but anyways, Jorah Mormont. And another thing about Jorah, it would be nice for Jorah to actually survive and then go back to Bear Island and become the ruler of Bear Island. But Jorah, of course, he was exiled because he was selling his people as slaves, because he married a Hightower. He married a beautiful woman that he couldn't afford. And when she found out that he was broke, he was like, I got to do something about this. So he was selling slaves to get money in order to satisfy and satiate the Hightower he was married to. For one, you don't marry Hightowers unless you have money. But you got to understand, Bear Island is a poor place. So even though he was next in line to take over Bear Island, it was just a bad move. He fell in love with the wrong woman. His title meant nothing. Jon Snow, we think he's going to survive. Well, he's not Jon Snow. He's Aegon Targaryen. 7th of his name. It's about time they did that. But I think he's going to be overwhelmed. I think he's seriously going to be hurt. And you know what else? Here's another thing I think. I think Jon might actually die. Because you got to understand, Jon is not... He's human, but Jon is a gray. He's kind of like a gray Jedi. He's in between. Jon is a gray. He's not a white, and he's not full human anymore because he died and came back. Hell, we don't even know if Jon's heart's beating. You really don't. They don't really explain it. You know what I'm saying? He looks fine. He acts like everybody else. But Jon actually died, and then he was brought back by the Lord of Light. So, you got to understand that the Night King is half dead, half alive. When they put that shard into the Night King's chest, they use magic to keep him alive. Because other than that, that would kill you. Just like Jon's uncle, I don't know who he'd be now, but his uncle who got caught out there by the whites. They killed him, and then before the magic took over his body, the children of the forest found him and did the same thing to him as they did to the Night King. So even though Jon doesn't have a shard in his chest, he was still brought back by magic. That makes him something else. Not to mention, he already had magic in him, because you gotta understand, all the Stark people are wargs. You know, this is one reason their relationship with the wolves is, and now his relationship with the dragon, I don't know. There's a lot going on with Jon, but I think Jon's gonna die, and I think he's gonna come back to life. I think Jon is gonna be the same thing as the one guy who came back, 17 times? Shoot. The guy that the Hound killed. Beric Dondarrion. So I think Beric Dondarrion is I think what happened to Beric Dondarrion is going to happen to him. But you got to understand, the priest who was bringing him back alive is no longer there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't remember his name. I just remember his face and that flaming sword that he used when they went ahead to the islands to fight those guys. And he was a Thoros of Myr. So Thoros of Myr is the priest. So you got to say, Melisandre is on her way back to Winterfell, and she's bringing back priests. So I think somebody's going to die, and Melisandre is going to be bringing people back to life. But you got to understand, when people come back to life, they're not the same. Because even Beric Dondarrion said, every time you come back, it's a little different. A little piece of you is left there. So this is Jon's first time back, and I think he's going to be brought back again, because these people who are being brought back, they're not exactly alive, but they're not dead. So there's a whole lot to unpack there. But Melisandre, and you got to understand, Melisandre isn't Melisandre. She's a witch. She's some type of priest. She doesn't even look like that. She's an old woman. Without that necklace, she's like 110, 20, 30, 40 years old. So those are the people who I think are the main characters who I think are going to live and die. And that's why the rest of these armies, I mean, you have the Knights of the Vale. You have Daenerys' crew from the Grass Sea. I forgot what the Screamers, the Dothraki Screamers here. And then you have a bunch of people who aren't even soldiers. They're farmers. That's what they are. They're a bunch of farmers. And of course you have the Unsullied here standing in unison. But these people are over here, they're either people who live beyond the wall, wildlings, or they're farmers. So yeah, you guys are dead. Anyways, your boy Tone 202. I just wanted to say what I thought and who's going to live or die. I'm out. Peace.